Welcome to our Sport and PE virtual open evening. If you do have any questions, please do put them into the chat and they will be answered during the presentation. Just to advise you, this presentation is being recorded and you'll be able to watch back and ask any further questions after the meeting as well if you want to. So the academic courses that we offer in our Sport and PE department are A Level P.E, BTEC Level 3 Sport and Exercise Science, and we offer that in two different ways, either as an extended diploma, which is a 2-year standalone course, or as an extended certificate, where you would take a single strand sport and exercise science qualification alongside 2 other courses or qualifications. We also offer a BTEC Level 3 in sport, fitness and personal training, and a Level 2 in sport and physical activity. And we're going to talk to you about each of these different courses in turn this evening. The teaching team, all of these people are on this call this evening, as myself, Becky Honor. We have Tom Guy, Alice Bieber and Mitch Oldham. Where do most of our students go on to? So a big majority of our students go on to higher education, predominantly universities within the UK, but we do also have some students who take up scholarships in America as well. Some students gain professional sports contracts with some of our links sports teams as well. Some students go straight into employment, others start apprenticeships, and some students go on to further education within the sports sector or sometimes within different sectors as well. I've put on the screen the A Level P.E results from 2018 and 2019. We don't have formal results that can be nationally compared for 2020 and 2021 because of the restrictions on assessments over the last 2 years. I've also put on the screen the extended diploma sport and exercise science results for the same dates, the same years. We don't have data for the Level 3 sport, performance, sports, fitness and personal training course and the Level 2 as they are new courses that have started this academic year. Just popped up on the screen for you some of the universities that students have gone on to from A-levels and BTECs over the last few years. We learned today that there's 8,325 sports courses across the different universities, so this is just a sample, but you can see the range of different places and there's a huge range of courses on offer at those universities. In terms of careers, there's a huge amount available. So just to give you a few ideas, for example, the sport, fitness and personal training course would most likely to lead into one of those 2 courses in terms of a fitness instructor or a personal trainer. Something like PE teaching, maybe from the BTEC Sport and Exercise Science course and from A-levels. But there's a huge choice and lots of different options for the students to consider in higher education. I'm just seeing a question come up that someone can't see the presentation. I'm not sure if anyone else can type in the chat if that's the same case, because we can change our settings if it's the same for everybody. I'll just stop talking for a moment. Okay, I think most people can see the presentation. We can make this available via email and on the website afterwards as well. So I'm going to start off talking to you about A Level P.E, A Level Physical Education. So how is A Level P.E assessed? There are 2 exams at the end of 2 years, paper 1 and paper 2, and then there are 2 pieces of coursework that need to be completed. One is practical coursework, where it's video evidence in a fully competitive situation for one sport, and one is a written piece of coursework. What do we cover in the theory lessons? In year 1, we cover anatomy and physiology, skill acquisition and sport in society. So they're 3 quite distinctly different topics. Anatomy in the first term, skill acquisition, which is quite similar to sports psychology, And lastly, sport in society, which is very much the sociology of sport. And then in year 2, we teach exercise physiology and biomechanics and sports psychology in term 1, and then sport in society and the role of technology in term 2, and then preparing for the final 2 exams. Is there much practical? Often a key question. No, there isn't a lot of practical. All of the practical evidence is generated in the students' own time, where they are playing competitive matches or performances. And that practical evidence is the responsibility of the student to gather alongside their coach or maybe their teammates or others that are involved in their own time. So you will need access to something like a video camera or a tablet or a phone that you can gather the video evidence on. We do some practical in the lessons, but it's very much linked to the theory content. Another question people often ask, what subjects work well alongside A Level PE? Subjects like biology, psychology and sociology have a big crossover in terms of subject content, but it's really possible to do any A Levels that you wish to alongside A Level PE. And how many sports do you need to do for the practical? It's only 1, which is quite different to GCSE, but it must be on the approved list, which we can provide for you. It's also on the college website at the moment. A few frequently asked questions. Does it matter if you haven't studied GCSE PE? No, it's ideal if you have, but not essential. You just maybe have a little bit more to learn in the first term, especially with the anatomy. Do you need a textbook? Absolutely. We ask all students to buy 1 textbook and that will last for both years. Can you join any of our sports programmes alongside this subject? Yes, we run sports programmes in a number of different sports and we make sure the timetable works to accommodate this. As with all A-level subjects, you'll have 4 one-hour lessons per week. They tend to be in 2-hour blocks. So for example, one of my A-level classes this year has me on a Monday and on a Thursday, and another group have me on a Tuesday and a Thursday. In terms of additional study, we should be looking at a minimum of 4 hours outside of class time. This is the textbook that we mentioned. It's normally around £40, available from lots of different places, but this is what you would need alongside the course. And lastly, these are available on our website. These are the entry requirements for A Level PE. There are the generic A Level entry requirements, and then we do ask for a 5 in science and a 5 in GCSE PE if you've done it. Some people complete things like BTEC sport, so we can look at your grades for those subjects as well. So I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Alice, who's going to talk to you about BTEC sport and exercise science.
Hi, so I'm just going to run through an overview of the BTEC Sport and Exercise Science course. So the course is ran over 2 years and it has 4 external assessments. So the first year, the students will do an external assessment in functional anatomy and sport and exercise psychology in January, and they have the opportunity to retake this at the end of the year. And the rest of the units that year will be through assessment, so that'll be coursework based. And again, they'll have a chance to resubmit that. And with the year 2 units, the 2 external assessment units, so exam based in January again, will be sport and exercise physiology and nutrition for sport and exercise performance. And then the units below that will be internally assessed, so coursework based. That's for the extended diploma, and as Becky was speaking before, we do offer the BTEC Sport and Exercise Science Extended Certificate, so that's the applied course where it runs over 2 years and is completed alongside 2 other A-levels or applied subjects. For this course, you only have to take the functional anatomy as an external assessment, specialised fitness training, which is internally assessed, and the psychology is externally assessed, so the exam in January, and coaching for performance and fitness. The entry requirements for this course would be a grade 4 in English and maths, grade 5 in science, and a grade 5 in PE, plus 3 grade 4s in the other GCSEs. These are the two textbooks that we asked the students to buy. The first one is for all of the units, and then the revision guide is to help them with their external units, so their exams that they will do in January. And the entry requirements for BTEC Sport and Exercise Science is grade 4 in English, Language and Maths, plus 3 grade 4 in other GCSEs. A grade 5 in Science is essential, and grade 5 in PE. Now I'm going to pass on to Mitch, who's going to talk about level 3 sport, fitness and personal training.
Lovely, thank you. So yeah, this is for the level 3 sport, fitness and personal training. So this one, you progress into employment in the sport and fitness sector as fitness instructors, or as we'd hope at the end of year 1, and then hopefully by the end of year 2 you can then progress as a personal trainer, or if you want to progress onto higher education for further studies. The course itself was developed in consultation with employers and industry professionals itself, so a lot of the work we do, we aim to replicate a lot of sort of real life scenarios that you might encounter. It's 100% internally assessed, so there are no exams. So if you are someone who prefers just coursework, then obviously this might be something you want to consider. It also includes 2 synoptic units and an exam board set assessment. So in year 1, you cover the following units, so careers in sport and active leisure industry, health and wellbeing in sport, fitness skills development, self-employment in sport and physical activity, and fitness testing and fitness training. And then moving on to year 2, you look at personal trainer skills development, a research project in sport, nutrition for physical performance, business and tech in personal training, sporting injuries and organising events in sport and physical activities. So this course itself, it's for post-16 learners who want to specialise in a specific industry. Specialist knowledge and technical skills will obviously be part of that as well. There will be employer involvement as well, so we aim to try and get students out on placement. We also have been getting people to come in as guest speakers to talk about what it's like for certain careers within, whether it's in coaching or personal training or even potentially teaching as well. It's mapped to industry standards as well. So as I said before, it's obviously trying to replicate sort of real life scenarios and stuff to prepare them for the world of work within that industry. And it's developed in collaboration with the Chartered Institute for Management of Sport and Physical Activity, the Register of Exercise Professional, and the UK Anti-Doping Agency. This is the digital resource that we ask students to purchase. So it's not an actual textbook. So it costs £22.99, and it's an online learning hub for the students where they can have a look through the content, and there are also some interactive parts. So there's a couple of quizzes and a few tasks and things which students are also able to complete in line with their coursework and any of the work that's being done in lessons. For the requirements on this one, we are looking for a grade 4 in English Language and Maths, plus 3 grade 4s in other subjects, and we'd also be looking for a GCSE 4 in physical education. With that being said, that's all from mine. I'm now going to pass you on to Tom, who's going to talk about the Cambridge Technical Level 2 Sport and Physical Activity.
Thanks, Mitch. Good evening, all. My name is Tom Guy, and I teach on all of the courses that have just been read through by all of my colleagues. But I'm going to talk you through the Cambridge Technical Level 2 Sport and Physical Activity course. Next slide, please. Okay, so the Cambridge Technical Level 2 Sport and Physical Activity course. This qualification will provide you with the skills, knowledge and understanding to progress into employment, either directly or through an apprenticeship or onto a Level 3 qualification. That bit's key. The Level 2 course really does fit in well with our Level 3 Sport, Fitness and Personal Training course. It really leads into that. On the other hand, you could well go into an apprenticeship as a fitness instructor or employment as an assistant fitness instructor. This qualification is designed to be taken as part of a study programme alongside your GCSE resit. So if you're unable to get the grades you wanted to study on your level 3 course, then the level 2 course is a great option whereby you can resit your English and Maths GCSEs alongside this course. There's 9 mandatory units and 2 are externally assessed. Next slide, please. The following employers and professional bodies support this qualification. So very similar to the level 3 sport, fitness and personal training course. SIMSPA, Sports Coach UK, Youth Sport Trust, amongst those. Next slide, please. Employer engagement is key. Just saw that pop up at the end there, whereby we try and give the students as much industry experience as we can. So visiting local leisure centres, gyms, and the different types of institutions within the sport industry. So this course, unlike the sport, fitness and personal training course and A Level P.E, sport and exercise science, is a 1-year course in duration. So normally you choose the level 2 qualification because you aren't quite ready to study a level 3 qualification. So whereby you may have not reached the grades that you wanted after a turbulent few years from COVID. So you can make the most of your time at the Henley College by having 3 years with us. Starting off with your level 2 qualification, topping up your GCSE, Maths and English, and then moving on to one of our other 2-year level 3 courses. It's developed in consultation with employers and industry specialists. So on that previous slide, SIMSPA, for example, and it's designed to prepare students for further study at level 3. Or, as previously mentioned, move on to an apprenticeship or the workplace itself. In order to gain entry onto this course, you will need 3 grades at grade 3 at your GCSEs, and then of course you're able to take your Maths and English resets if you don't achieve them alongside this course as well. I believe that is it, so I'm going to hand you back to my colleague Becky, who will finish us off for the evening.
Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording. If you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. There's lots of information on there, and there's 4 of us here that are ready to respond to your questions. So I'll just stop the recording and we'll await your questions.